What's up, everyone? Just getting in here a little early, waiting for my cohort, Mr. Ryan Hernandez. Hope everyone's having a great day. I'm excited to do the live podcast. For those of you who are here, let's ask some questions. Let's make this a fun one. All right? Is everyone ready for the Masters? Come on. Can I get some hype for that? It's like the best weekend of the year. I will die on that hill. I wish I could play the Masters music right now. It'd be cool. It'd be so cool. Peace, love, and rock and roll, people. Who do we got here? Hazel Rocket. So why? I don't know. So why? Maybe I do. I love the love. Send as many hearts as you would like. I will never say no to that. Everyone hear me okay? Sound coming through all right? I'll take the 100s as a yes. Fire, yeah, cool. All that. All those are good things. All those are good things. Oh. Oh gosh, I can't talk. Oh. Oh no. It depends on the golf course, man. I used to always just go off with the driver, to be honest with you, and then I got to the point now where I'll hit like a hybrid or a long iron because even my worst shot with that will still be in play. I always do the same. I can be as warmed up as possible. First tee shot with the driver, 9 out of 10 times, I block to the right. So if you feel like you're just going to hit it out of bounds, save it for that first wide open hole where you have plenty of room. That's what I do at least anymore. Unless you have to, unless it's like a 450-yard par four, then I don't know why you would start on that course. Oh my god. Ryan is yelling at me. All right. First live podcast ever. What does this button do? There he is. I think I let him in.
Hello, everyone.
There he is. Hold on, get my volume up. I can't hear ya. How do I make this camera further away? Oh, my monitor is so heavy. A way to do this. So what's What's that hat, dude? You sent me a picture of it. Is it just a cool hat?
Yeah,
What's the
it's
problem?
Waggle Golf, and it is their Masters hat, so 87th Masters. Yeah, pretty excited
So
about it.
that's pretty cool. Not gonna lie. I'm just rocking the Paradigm. I have no master swag. I got swag from every other major. I got zero
Yeah,
Augusta swag.
I have a Masters shirt too, but it doesn't fit because, we all go through life things. So, um, yeah, it's Tiger. It's got a goat on it. And it's got a goat, and it's got Tiger's 5 years that he won at Augusta.
Yeah,
It's a pretty sweet shirt,
that's awesome.
but yeah, I don't. I can't. I was going to wear it, and then I put it on, and you didn't want to see me in it. So,
Of course.
well, I just
Of course, I want to see you in it.
I meant more our adoring fans didn't want to see me in it, but I am rocking the Ken Griffey Jr. baseball
The adoring
T-shirt. So
Griffey's
was
Griffey's a goat.
is the goat in my book. He was my favorite growing up. So
Yeah, me too. I was a fan of Griffey. I got him. I'm gonna try something. I don't know if this is gonna work. But I'm gonna try it. Do you have like a stand for your phone? I like how everyone's just
yeah, I
watches
do. I have a
setup for
little.
this.
I have a ring light with a tripod, and I can lower it down really low, so I can sit here and have it at the right distance. I hope my lighting's okay as well. So,
Oh shit.
who's winning at Augusta? Oh man, great question. We'll talk about that. Great question. I'm gonna have to try and keep track of. I mean, not like we're gonna have like a stream of questions coming in so fast, but I think hybrid sounds good. That must have been something you were talking about beforehand. Did we lose PGR? Or did we lose me? Perfect.
It's me. I'm still here. I can hear you.
Are you messing
I
with
am.
settings?
Maybe.
And this is mineral water, people. Don't think I'm drinking a 40. So we still have about 10 minutes. We're going to get started here in a minute. PGR's gone again. Or maybe he can hear me. I don't know. This is our first time trying this, everybody.
I can hear you. I can hear everything. I'm trying to see if I can attach a Bluetooth mic.
No, you cannot have a
Okay,
minute.
can I have a minute? Well, too bad.
We're losing viewership because of your antics. What's up? Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Major player, who do you think is going to win at Augusta? That's the real question. I don't know what hybrid you guys were talking about, but hopefully it was the Paradigm because that hybrid is really good. I just put it in the bag as well.
Not dealing with it. I'm just not going to deal with it. Dude, Paradigm Hybrid with that shaft I have in it, it is
it's good.
Dirty good. Like, it is... It's unfair how
Agreed.
good that hybrid is.
It's pretty good. I'm now all Paradigm woods and not ashamed of it.
Yeah, the only thing I'm waiting on are those irons.
What the heck? Come on.
Yeah, yeah, no. We're trust me. We'll talk about those live guys. No worries there. I have my opinion on how that's going to play out.
Well, I know you do.
Okay. Not yet. They wouldn't connect. They wouldn't connect to the Bluetooth. I don't know why.
Oh, that's fine.
You're fine. I like smiley faces. Can I do filters? I can do filters while I do this? Oh, look how young I look. Can you
You
imagine if I
absolutely
look like this all the time?
should.
I feel like a young Japanese girl. This is how I feel on the inside all the time.
For sure you do.
This is why this is a terrible idea because
Yeah.
I'm literally just a child. Just to keep
Great.
glitter
Just
around
a
me the
wee.
whole time. Little 90s lip ring. Oh, in the back. Oh, dude. Dude, my kids have been I've been obsessed with Batman lately, and it's making me so
Your
happy.
kids are like 2 and 4.
My daughter's 4. She's like, Dad, can we
Oh,
watch
gosh.
Batman? I'm like, hell yes, we can. All right. What time we got?
7:52.
Almost show. Pretty much showtime.
Yeah, that's fine with
I mean, we
me.
can just start. Screw it. You want to welcome everyone to episode 9. 9? Episode 9 of Par None. We're going live pre-Masters. As you know, I am PJR Scratch Golf. This is Ryan Hernandez. We are happy to be here with you. It is the Masters. There's a lot of storylines, a lot of cool stuff to talk about. I'm excited about it. It's like the official, unofficial start of golf season, so it gets everyone's blood pumping a little bit. It's like listening to rap music, gets you all pumped up.
Yeah,
It
just
gets
get
pumped
excited. Yeah, it is all Masters Eve, so tons of exciting stuff ahead. I cannot wait. Best week of the year for golf fans. It sucks that it kind of like is exciting because it kicks off the golf season, and then sucks because after it's over, you're like, there's some other good weeks, but there's just nothing like Masters Week. It's so, yeah, I don't know. It's something special. I've never even been there, and I'm still just like locked in on this one week. No.
Have you ever been to Augusta? I got to go next year. I've already kind of just made my mind. I'm going, even if it's for like the drive, chip and putt kind of thing. I don't know. I got a text message from somebody that was there. They were hanging out at Hooters with John Daly and all of this. And I'm like, well, now I have to go. You know, like live music, all this stuff. It was,
Right.
and that's just before the tournament even starts. Like, so I've heard it's a really good time. I want to see how pristine it is. And I've also always just wanted to roll a putt at Augusta because I just want to see how unbelievably brutal it is. I've heard it's like putting on a billiards table, which is horrifying. Like, could you imagine putting on being on a slope, like a 4-foot slope of a billiards table,
and then
trying
dudes
to putt
make
down
it.
around
That's
that?
what's wild.
And they make it.
Yeah.
That makes it even worse.
I can't imagine. Obviously, it's a bucket list thing. I don't know if I'll ever get there. I put my name in the raffle every year. I never get chosen, so.
Oh, really?
Never gotten
You've done the raffle and never gotten in. Is it true they ask you for like all kinds of crazy personal
I don't
information?
think so. I mean, like they ask you for just basic, like name, address, email, phone number, I think, but it's nothing like, I don't remember it being insane, and maybe it is, and I just don't remember, but I don't remember. If anybody else remembers, please chime in. Tiger hole-in-one on 12, that would be amazing.
Yes.
I would love to see that.
No, agree. All right, so let's just, I guess, dive on in a little bit since we're talking Tiger now. What are your expectations of Tiger Woods this week? He says his game is in better form than it was last time he was here. Last he 47th. He's made 22 consecutive cuts, and he is one cut away from tying the record for the most cuts made at Augusta.
I don't know. I don't know what to expect of Tiger. I mean, my heart tells me one thing, and I think my mind and my logic may tell me another thing, which I'm not too thrilled about. I mean, I think he makes the cut. You know, I just think that this place means just so much to him that I feel like he is just going to grit it out, whatever that cut line is. I think he's just going to grit that out. He's as putter as a cane. So I think he grits it out. I don't know what he'll do after that, especially because of the weather. That's the most concerning thing. And he said his legs aching more than it did last year, even though his game's in better shape. So that's kind of concerning. Thankfully, day 1 and 2, I think he can make it through. But, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, in my heart of hearts, I want him to compete, and I want him to be right there.
So I think for Tiger, it's going to be boom or bust. There are some concerns saying he's not moving around as well as they would like for him to be. I mean, he didn't even play today. So he's not moving around as well as he would like to be moving. And apparently his recovery after Riviera was like playing Riviera took a lot out of him. And him even saying things like, I don't know how many more years I have left, and I can't wait to take a card on the Champions Tour. Like, these are just some things that I was not expecting Tiger to say this year. I knew it was coming, but man, like maybe it's just because I don't want it to happen. I don't think it's Tiger. You just think that he's never going to admit defeat. He's never going to back down. Like he'll be like 70 going, oh, I can still win. Like I want him to. Like who doesn't want that? But like, you know, you never take him out of the equation. Tiger is known for doing the impossible all the time. He could win. He could absolutely win. He could absolutely miss the cut, and that's what makes it such a volatile thing. It's how do you pick it? Like how do you place a bet on that? You know, is you don't know what you're getting. He still has the best hands, maybe the best hands in golf ever. They extended what was it, 13, the par 5. So it's gonna be tough on Tiger. Is the weather's gonna be tough? Walking the course is gonna be tough. I don't like counting him out, but like you said, like I want him there.
Yeah,
happening. You know, if he is in the hunt, it just seems like when he's in contention, it's just a different gear goes off in his head. You know, so if he can just get himself in a place where he can go after it. No, I'm coming back to Koepka. Don't you worry. If he can just get himself relatively into contention, I think that will be. I think we'll put on a good show.
Yeah,
I'd love to see.
I think everybody, I mean, almost everybody does, and it's just one of those things. We've talked about it on this podcast before, where even if he's not in contention, there's a good chance until the back half of the leaderboard, like tease it up on Saturday, like. At least on one of my screens, it'll be his. If he makes the cut but isn't in contention, like I'm going to watch that group all the way through just to see what he can do. So
it can be the last Master. I mean, I'm not saying it is, and I hope it's not, but you never know.
It could be.
This could be his last Master.
I don't think it will be.
It could be. I don't think. I think when Tiger's playing now, we should be really enjoying these next couple of years because I think that's really all we're going to be getting. You know what I mean? I don't see us having a whole lot left after the next couple of years. So if you can live stream his entire group, do it because I don't know if we'll ever see someone like him in golf again. Maybe at some point, but man, like it just breaks my heart. Like it's going to make me all emotional as being a kid watching him do all these amazing things. And to know that his career is coming to an end, you're like, man, that sucks. Like, it just out loud. Right. Like, there's nobody as good as him either. That being said, though, if Scheffler goes back to back,
pretty sweet.
Oh, we have a bit of a potential Tiger-esque situation upon us. You know what I mean? He pulled this off year after. I mean, he only has to do it
Right.
for the rest of his career to even get close to Tiger. But
Yeah.
you
No,
never
I
know.
mean, 2 Masters victories, obviously it was worth something. And, yeah, I mean, I think it's hard to root against Scotty just because he's such a nice dude, and he just seems like so unaffected by like fame and the fame that's come his way the last year. Uh, and he just seems very genuine, and so you want a guy like that to do well, versus maybe and I know his name was already brought up, but like a Brooks Koepka, who just kind of comes across as like an arrogant asshole. Though you can't deny the talent there, or at least the talent that maybe was there and maybe is going to be there again. But
He won last. I mean, he did beat the Live Field, so it's not. So this is my thing with the whole Live guys being there too. Is I don't know how tough this course setups are for them and everything like that, but we have the PGA Tour playing 4 days, and they have been playing places like Sawgrass and Bay Hill and all the they play Pebble. Like they're playing very difficult golf courses, very fast greens for 4 days against, in my opinion, a higher caliber golfer. I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong here. I mean, we're going to find out how the Live guys do this week, but do they really? I think that they're used to competing against each other. But can they go out there and compete against Scheffler, Rory, Rahm, Sam Burns, JT? I mean, Spieth. Spieth's a great pick this week too. Like, so can they hang in there for 4 days? If they have to, there's a cut, so they have to make the cut too. Can they hang in there for the 4 days on an elite level of golf that they have not competed in
yeah, I mean, I think it'll be interesting. I don't know. I think a lot of those Live guys will fall by the wayside pretty quickly. Just because, like you said, like it's really hard to stay at that level. Yeah, DJ and Cam can. I think even if Brooks Koepka is healthy, he obviously has shown that he can. So I think they can. I don't know if they will, just because I don't know how out of practice they are. Like I don't know what Phil's or DJ's or Cam's practice routine looks like now. I think Cam Smith, if anybody, has a chance to win it from the Live side of things.
I think DJ can. DJ's
and he's won there
unaffected
before,
by
which
everything
helps.
all the time.
He knows how to play the course, and he's won there. Be it in November, but still won at Augusta. And so, yeah, I mean, there's the thing that a lot of the Live guys have going for them, and this is kind of what happens at Augusta as opposed to other places, is that people who have won there tend to play well there. So, like, even well past his winning, like Angel Cabrera showed up and always played well there. Fred Couples has given us a couple of really good rounds. Yeah. Bernhard Longer. Yeah, all these guys. And I know it's different because they get to play if they've won, but those guys know how to play that golf course kind of regardless of age. And so you see guys who maybe you wouldn't normally see. Like Fred Couples isn't going to go out and probably shoot under par rounds at the U.S. Open, but he can do it at Augusta because it's just a course that you have to know how to play. Suits a certain golfer. So I think, guys like Phil, guys like DJ, guys like, Patrick Reed, Sergio. I mean, they've all won there, so they know how to play. They know how to play that course, and they're still. I mean, I think they're still good golfers, regardless of what people think. I just don't know how many of them keep up with what you need to do to be that high level professional athlete, because it just doesn't seem like Live requires that same output as the PGA Tour does. And I could be wrong. I mean, they may be, breaking their backs to get ready. So who knows? But I mean, it'll be exciting for sure. I think Augusta did a really they really tamed it out with the pairings. They didn't put any volatile pairings together to see if anything would erupt. It was all very much like we're gonna pair one Live guy with one guy who is not a top name with another, just all nice guys. So it's that way nothing's gonna happen.
Complete neutrality. Yeah, so I just don't know if the Live guys can compete at an elite level like they used to, because they haven't I think it's like anything else you need. That's something you practice. You practice against the
Right.
best in the world kind of thing. As far as the dark horse in my eyes, I've been saying it all year. I have two of them, Justin Rose and Jason Day. Rosie has been so close so many times. He's playing great golf. And Jason Day has been trending in the right direction all year. And like I said last week's episode, I forgot he's only like
35, I
30,
think.
what, 6, 4? I already forgot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still young. He looks healthy. And if Jason Day's healthy, he's a very, very scary golfer. The only reason why he golf was because of his health. It had nothing to do with his golf game. It was purely back problems and then the vertigo thing,
Yeah.
which sucks. But I think Jay Day got shot this week. I really do. I think he'll be in the hunt. I think you'll see Rosie's number up there. Maybe even like I can see Rosie being a first round leader. If you're placing a bet on somebody for a first round leader, I like Rosie. And we're talking.
Yeah,
We're
I don't know
talking
who my
dark
dark
horses.
horse pick is. I think Augusta is such a weird animal that it's impossible to pick a dark horse because like there is always a guy, especially in the early rounds. You're like, what is that? Who is that? What is that guy doing up there?
Danny Willett could
Sure.
play well out there.
Yeah.
He certainly does.
Yeah, I don't know whom. I honestly don't have. I think Chris Kirk could play well there, just because of he's been playing so well, and he just doesn't have any. Even though he's been playing well, he's won. He played well last week or 2 weeks ago. He doesn't have like the spotlight on him, so he seems like a guy who could kind of fly under the radar. And
Have money on a leader. I'm gonna feel bad.
maybe hopefully he already made the bet.
But if you win, I get half.
So I could see Chris Kirk just kind of sneaking out of there in the early rounds before like the pressure kind of gets to him or his name kind of gets thrown out there. And then I don't know if he can hang once he realizes like, oh crap, like I'm on the leaderboard at Augusta. But we'll see. I honestly am not sure who's the dark horse this week. It's such a tough thing to pick at Augusta.
See, for Augusta, I think the dark horse pick needs to be somebody that's been close a lot of times, but has never quite gotten the job done. Someone like Rose or someone like Day. I'm kind of curious how Sergio's going to play. I'm going to be real honest with you there. He's won out here before, but if I remember right, his record isn't the greatest at Augusta. Bill doesn't make the cut. Bill won't make the cut. Actually, I don't even know if Patrick Reed makes the cut. Maybe because I just don't want him to. Bryson, I bet he doesn't make the cut.
You know who will play well there is Louis Oosthuizen, I bet. I bet he comes through as he could be a dark horse just because he always plays well there. And he's one of those guys that kind of seems unaffected, kind of like a DJ, only like he even seems less like whatever about it than DJ does. But Louis just kind of seems unaffected by all the noise. And he's just going to go out and play well because he wants to play well there, and he knows that he can. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see his name up there, especially early.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who else. I thought I had another. What do you think about Sam Burns out here? He's playing well. He just took down Scheffler.
Yeah, I have a hard time. I like Sam Burns. I have a hard time believing that he is going to do it. Like repeat, like be that good 2 weeks in a row or like back-to-back starts. He's another guy that I could see maybe firing off a good round or two, but I don't know if I don't know. I don't know if he has enough Masters experience to put together 4 good rounds and make. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I think sometimes when Sam Burns gets in trouble, he has a hard time staying in it if he's not really playing well. I think he has a little bit of trouble like making something happen when he doesn't have it. And at Augusta, like you can't you're not going to be perfect. So it's how do you come back from misses? I don't know. I mean, all of those guys can do it. I just don't see Sam Burns doing it. And I like Sam Burns. Please don't hate me. I know you're not listening, but if you ever are, we like you.
No. So my inside source said either JT or Scheffler is going to win. I'm going to lean into JT a little bit because I think winning back-to-back Masters it's a tall order for anybody despite how well you're playing. Now, that being said, my perfect world scenario here being that Rory has taken Scheffler down twice now. I would love to see Scheffler put that green jacket on Rory because at that moment, Rory has his number. That would solidify it. So he gets a career Grand Slam, and then he's able to have Scheffler, the number one golfer in the world, which I don't know if Rory might be able to take over that number one spot with winning the Masters. I don't know for sure. But to have that, like, for Rory's like, yeah, I know you're the number one in the world. I know you've been doing all this stuff, but every time we've gone head to head, I've gotten you. You know for a fact they will go head to head at the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
It will be Scheffler and Rory. And I cannot wait to see that, man.
Yeah.
Cannot wait.
I think I really would love, if Tiger doesn't win, which, he's not going to do, he's a fanboy. Yes. How can you not be a fan? Who hates Rory McIlroy? I mean, is there anybody out there who's just like, doesn't like Rory? Maybe.
A lot of people don't like him because they see him as like the talking head for the PGA Tour, and he's like, oh, he needs to keep his mouth shut. Da 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 da. I'm like, just stop. He's so arrogant. I'm like, dude, he's a phenom. Like, to be a good golfer, I'm sorry, every great golfer is arrogant. Every one of them, you have to be. You have to have a level of arrogance to be a great golfer because you can't walk into a golf shot and be humble, like, yeah, I can hit this. Like, no, you're like, I got this. Like, you have to have this mindset to be an accomplished golfer, and it comes with arrogance. There's confidence. Look at Tiger. Look how arrogant Tiger was, but he can be. You know what I mean?
No, I totally agree. I don't know. And to me, honestly, like Rory doesn't even come off that arrogant. So I don't necessarily think that's.
I do not like
even how I view Rory, and I'm not like a diehard Rory fan as I am a Tiger Woods fan. But I just think it would be amazing to see him do or to complete the Grand Slam. Like, who doesn't want to see that? Because it's happened 5 times, and only really. One time for a lot of us our age, like we weren't really around when Player and Nicklaus did it. They're still alive, but we weren't watching them do it in real time. And then obviously Hogan and Saracen were done way before we were ever born. So, I mean, you're really getting the chance to see something very crazy happen. So regardless if you're a Rory fan or not, I think you have to be like kind of rooting for that storyline. And then just also Rory's awesome. And he's, like Scheffler, Rory, Rahm. It's really hard to deviate from that like top 3 pack of picking somebody to win it outside those 3 just because it just seems like clearly it's those 3 and then the rest. They have risen to the top. And so,
yes. Which is so cool because every elevated event, you're going to see one of those 3 in the mix. And if you get 2 of the 3, it gets really freaking interesting. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm completely on board for that. I think Rahm's coming in a little under the radar this week, which could be good for him. I think the expectations are being placed on him. That might.
I agree. I think we talked about the whole. Let's see. What's up, boys? What's up, Brady? Good to have you here, buddy. So yeah,
howdy.
I think we talked about this. Was it last episode or 2 episodes ago, where we were talking about how quickly you can get forgotten about how good you are? So Rahm was just like on a tear at the very beginning of the season, and there was a lot, not everyone, but a lot of people who were like, Rahm is the clear number 1, clear. And then all of a sudden Rory started playing well in Dubai and then kind of has just been steady. And then it was like, well, Rory's overtaking it, like the king has returned to the rightful spot. And then Scheffler went on his, again, run in the spring like he has last year. And now everyone's, it's just funny how Rahm can get forgotten about so quickly when he doesn't win every week, or he can get elevated and those other guys can fall back. And now Scheffler's won like 8 times in the last like 13 months or something silly. So, I don't know. I agree that he is flying under the radar. He wasn't talked about near as much in the coverage today, and I watched like live from the Masters from about 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. And yeah, and he wasn't talked about near as much as Rory and Scheffler was. I mean, Rory's obviously gotten the most airtime. Scheffler's been in there a ton. And then I think, even like the live guys and some other, I mean, obviously Tiger's going to get his share, but I don't know. Yeah, I think it's weird that Rom doesn't get the acknowledgement that these other guys do because he's pretty good.
But it's always kind of seemed that way. If you think about Rom, like, yeah, he's a clear cut. He gets on a hot run, but it seems like for some reason, Rom, I'm not going to say he hasn't gotten the credit because everyone knows how great he is, but I feel like compared to the other guys, he does not get as much love as everyone. I don't understand that because the dude's dominant. Like, he's had a hell of a career, and when he wins, he does it in such style and such intensity, and it's just, I don't know why they kind of rank him as far as like media time. Maybe he's less personality, but I have no idea. I don't know, but like it seems like he does not get necessarily the credit that I feel like.
No, I agree. I don't know why that is either. I don't know if it's the European thing or if it's just like you said. Sorry, go ahead.
Rory's.
I know.
What about Rory?
I don't know if it's something about. I don't know what it is. I'm just throwing ideas out there. I think Rory's going to get it just because of the phenom status, like you were talking about, like kind of like the Spieth factor too, as they reeled off these amazing major victories so quickly, so early on that they were both thought of as like the next Tiger Woods. Rahm's never been in that conversation, and Scotty is only 25 years old, which is still wild. Like the dude is a decade younger than I am. Yeah, but he looks still like. Just wild. Anyways, so I think, I mean, it's funny because Scotty doesn't get that either. Like, he's not the next Tiger Woods, but he's won 7 or 8 times in the last 13 months, including a major and a Players' Championship. So, and a WGC event. And possibly, I mean, we'll see what happens this year. So, I don't know. It's a weird animal. I don't know why it's kind of like Rory kind of gets I mean, I get why Rory gets the king kind of crown, but he also hasn't won as much as those other two guys.
Yeah. I think Rory is just because he has so much, like, so if he wins this week, he ties DJ's record for most, or for like ties DJ's record for wins on the PGA Tour at 24. If Rory wins this week, he gets the Grand Slam. If Rory wins this week, I think he takes over number 1. If Rory wins this week, Scheffler's putting the green jacket on him. You know what I mean? Like, with the younger demographic, Rahm isn't looked at as a legend, and with Scotty winning so much. Yeah, he's not. I mean, I think Rahm is going to have a phenomenal career. Like, he's going to be in the top 5% of golfers of all time, as long as he keeps. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, so, and also he seems to. Scheffler, like you said, 8 times in the last 13 months is huge. So he has a great point. And he's not governing the attention because Scheffler has done more in this time period. You know what I mean? Rahm, he was playing amazing golf, but he wasn't winning. And unfortunately, what it comes down to is how much you win. Because if you look at that tournament stretch that he had there where he never placed worse than 10th place or something like that, but he won like 2 or 3 times, but they weren't, elevated events necessarily. You know what I mean? So I think that has something to do with it. I think maybe Rahm does need to prove. I mean, he does have the one major. Maybe Rahm does need to prove that he can consistently outplay the best in the world. That is a fair argument.
No, I totally agree, and that could definitely be it.
Okay.
I think we both agree this. We're not arguing this point, but Rahm has a lot left, obviously, in the tank from a career standpoint. I think for both Rory and Rahm, I don't think it's a matter of if, but when they win another major. I mean, obviously Rory's got a little bit of less. Like, his clock's ticking a little bit just because of his early success. But, I mean, any of those guys can win.
But you think about that. And next tee golfer, which I believe is John Demand, Rahm being super humble about the live golf thing and Rory rattling his mouth at it a little bit. They're not going to put the attention on Rahm. They wanted the heat. You know what I mean? They were feeding into the drama and this narrative. So that probably another reason why Rahm maybe is not as – the camera's not on him as much. But going back to the point you just said about Rory, his clock's ticking a little bit. I found out this week that Padraig Harrington, his club head speed is 120 really miles an hour. That is awesome. So just think about that. That's Padraig, okay? He never struck you as a long ball hitter either. With all the technology and golf being more of a athletic sport now, how much longer are these guys' careers going to be?
Yeah.
How long is Rory going to be competing? You know, as long as
Right.
this is saying no injuries, this, excluding that. Realistically, Rory doesn't get injured. He can play into his. I mean,
Right.
look what Tiger's doing with injuries. Rory, without them, he could be competing at Tiger's age
Yeah.
at a very high level, theoretically. And probably him. It could be Scotty. You could see JT, Spieth. I mean, we could have this class of people. I think it was class of 2014. I think 14 was JT graduating year, his first year PGA Tour. I think Spieth was like a year or two before that. But we could have them, I mean, technically for another 20 years competing at a high level. And that's not including young guns that are going to come up in the meantime. So golf's in a great spot if you look at that with the longevity of the game of these golfers is fantastic.
Yeah, and next tee golfer is Rob Horak, not John, but it's fine. Yeah, I'm missing, but the comments are no longer flowing on my end, so I'm just going off what you're saying. But yeah, so outside the top three, who has a realistic chance? Not dark horse, but who's like the next crop? I think I have an answer. I mean, I know I have an answer. I mean,
hold on, I have a question real quick. What do you think will happen to the game if a live player wins? Man, I hate that question. Deep down, and this sounds terrible, and I don't want anybody to judge me for this. I don't want it to happen. I don't want it to happen. And it's a very selfish ego reason why I don't want it to happen because it means I'm wrong. It's the honest to God truth. I don't know. I don't know. I guarantee you every live golfer will be on that green celebrating it. I don't know if it'll contribute to the divide or make it better or not. So we could go one of two ways. It could contribute to the divide because the live guys are going to be I don't think they'll be humble about it. Let's put it that way. I don't see them being necessarily graceful or gracious with it. Or the positive side of it could be, hey, the PGA Tour has more respect for it now. You know what I mean? And they have more respect for these golfers, and maybe it, bridges the gap a little bit.
I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't think. I know a lot of people have made a big thing about it. I just don't think it's going to be a big deal. That's just my own personal take. I think it'll be a talking point for a week, or Greg Norman's going to spout off about it on Twitter.
That's the problem. Yeah. It's Greg Norman. I think if Greg Norman was part of the equation, it wouldn't be a big deal. But the reason why they didn't invite him again this year, and he threw his little bitch fit like he usually does. But the thing with it is, of all the years they invited him, he's only showed up like twice. And now he's like, well, I'm not getting an invite this year. Well, I'm like, they're like, dude, you never showed up to begin with. It just everywhere he goes is contention and drama, and then that's the issue with it. I think if Norman wasn't part of the equation, I think this live golf thing would have gone over totally differently, and the reception would be totally different. But Norman has been I don't like the dude. I'm sorry,
I think he will. Obviously, he'll use it to his advantage, which makes sense. I mean, I get why he would do it, and if I was probably in that position, I would use. I mean, it's a big legitimizer for live golf. Like, hey, our guy won this. Like we're still we're competitive. We can compete with the best. So,
Skip Bayless of golf.
That's hilarious. I wish I could see these comments. I don't know why mine have stopped flowing, but that's hilarious. So,
I don't know, man. That is way too. Oh, I love that.
You good?
I can't hear you, homie.
Okay, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I can hear you.
So I think it dies down, and I think it just becomes another thing. Like DJ won. It was a big deal. They made a big stink about it. The Aces put on their Instagram that they have a Masters winner, and then they're going to go back to putting together, what quite frankly is a shitty product that hasn't been that entertaining. There's no drama to it anymore because they're not taking anybody from the PGA Tour. So they still have to go back and play their, hard to watch version of what they're trying to do until the next one, until the PGA Championship. So we're going to see them for four times for 4 months, and then they'll be a non-topic, at least for the time being, until they figure out how to generate some sort of compelling storyline, which they just haven't been able to do. And it's why the only compelling storyline is that they're at the majors. Do you know what I mean? So,
Yeah, 100%. The only reason why Liv is being talked about
yeah.
right now is because it's
And
the
I don't-
Masters. It's 100%. And it would be cool to see, Rory and Brooks coming down the stretch, or Rory and Cam Smith. Oh my God, that'd be a real good one. Repeat of the Open, Rory, Cam Smith, final round of the
Yeah.
Masters.
Or what about like a
Let's
Rory
go.
Phil Mickelson
If Rory-
final group? Because he's just come out. He's like, giving us a PGA championship performance, and the dude is just all of a sudden striping balls. Did
You heard he was quiet at the dinner. Apparently, he didn't
think he,
like.
go ahead.
I think he's on a short leash. I think he ran his mouth. He said something he wasn't supposed to say in the Saudi league, which is like, shut your mouth or we're shutting you down. Because no one has ever been able to shut Phil Mickelson up in his entire career. Now he's not talking at all. If a live golf player wins, do you think the PGA might rethink about handing the tour cards back to players that left? Ooh. Oh, it would be. I think it
I was
would.
going to say, I think it opens
this
the
thought would cross their
conversation
mind.
for sure. I don't think you can. I mean, let's be honest. If for me personally, and I honestly don't know how you feel about this, P, but I don't. I think it's a lot of talk from Jay Monahan, and I think if push came to shove, especially for a Cam Smith, a DJ, a Brooks, who does draw attention and people want to see them there, I have a hard time believing those top dudes want to come back, and you're going to say, no shot, never going to happen. There may be a penalty or some sort of disciplinary action for them to have to do, suspension or fine. But I just don't think you keep those guys. You can keep those guys off the tour if they really desperately want to come back. Maybe you can, and maybe he is got backbone to what he's saying. I just don't think that is what would happen personally. But
Comes down to money. If it's going to make him more money, he'll do it. But you saw that they lost the case of the DP World Tour, right? Yeah, so, I mean, that's not good for them at all. But I think we all kind of saw that coming, though, at the same time. We think Scotty's chance of repeating is very solid, by the way, Brian. We already went over that. Yeah, we do think it's a very, very good chance of it. It'd be historic for sure. But yeah, no, yeah, I think it could bridge the gap. I don't know. It also, maybe on the flip side of it, it might get the live golfers a little juiced up going like, man, I want to go back to the PGA Tour. It might actually just, this week, being here and playing against all these golfers, it might make them rethink their decision of going to live, and it comes down to re-signing their contract. Maybe they won't, but apparently, if they back out of their contract, they have to pay double what they were paid back in order to get out.
That is. I heard that too, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. It could do the opposite. It could legitimize their mindset. If a live guy wins, they could just be like, well, why would we leave? Like, we know we can compete in the majors now. I think a lot of those guys want. Yeah, I think a lot of the reason why those guys went, I mean, obviously money, but I think the second biggest reason was the schedule. Like, they get to be at home more. They don't have to go play 30 times a year. They can play, 10? It was like 5, 10 events. So you're home 40 weeks a year, and you're getting paid more than you're going to make on the PGA Tour. So I think that is a big draw. I think if they do win, that absolutely could be a legitimizing thing for them to be like, well, we can still compete where it matters, and then we still get our relaxed or off time, or we get the competition we want without the overbearing schedule. So I think it's a possibility that it goes the other way too.
So, yeah, it's an interesting. I mean, there's a lot of.
For sure.
It's just very interesting to say the very least. But outside the top 3 big dogs, who do you think is going to get it done?
I mean, I think you have to go Jordan Spieth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just,
or JT.
Jordan plays well. He always plays well there. Even when he's lost, he's been close. So I think I don't know.
Even in his worst year, Jordan. skating, even though I think he missed
Yeah,
the
I
cut
think he
last
did,
year.
but I think that's his only poor showing, maybe ever or in a while.
Yeah.
I know I say I'm kind of a fanboy of this guy, but I really just like Colin Morikawa. I mean, he's just
Yeah.
such a good ball
He
striker
has
that
a,
it's always hard to eliminate a good ball striker from tournaments like that. But he has kind of been on a downward trend since he won his British Open. Um,
how do you feel about Hovland?
yeah,
Hovland's played well here.
that's the
He's
hard
low
thing.
in
Is like I feel like there's so many names you could throw out where I'd be like, yep, like he could play. I mean, he could. Do you know what I mean? It's just the truth of it. Like he could play well. I mean, there's just so many guys that you could just point to and be like. I mean, like I think Salih Thagala could play well. Like the dude is knocked on the door before. He's young. He plays really good golf.
Oh,
Dark horse pick.
I
He could play well. Um, yeah.
Finau.
I mean,
Finau could do it. Finau could legitimately do it. He's been in the hunt before. He's playing a lot better golf as of the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Finau could get it done, and he has the distance to take over the course. And because a lot of these changes is they really own. It's weird because it's like they made these changes to the course to make it harder for the Bombers, but at the same time the Bombers still have the advantage.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So you got to go with somebody that probably has some
for
gas
sure.
in the tank. Although somebody's having a perfect ball striking week, which is very possible. Hell,
We've
Adam
done there
Scott
before.
could
I
get it
mean, that's the weird thing about the Masters is there's just. I feel like I keep saying the same thing, but I just honestly believe it. Like, I mean, a guy like Adam Scott could win. Tiger Woods could win the tournament. It's a weird. If we were at the U.S. Open, I wouldn't say that about these guys. But this is just a different course because Adam Scott has won before, because Tiger's won there 5 times. Like, it's just a course you have to know how to play. It's not just the most talented guy gets it done. That's not how that course works out. Because as you can see, the most talented guy doesn't win a lot of the time. Like, Zach Johnson's won there. He's not the most talented guy. Is it Willett? Danny Willett's won there. He's not the most
done.
talented guy. Even like Sergio or those guys, they're not the most talented guy out there.
I'd say Sergio was. Sergio is
No, he is. No, he
damn
is.
good.
That might be a bad
Back-
example, but I'm just saying, like, he.
Ooh.
Yeah, somebody
What about
just asked that. Yeah,
Fitzpatrick?
Betty guy, of course. Rob asked me about a Betty guy. I don't know if his Skechers hold up for that walk.
I like Fitzpatrick. I'd love to see him get it done. I don't know what his history is at Augusta necessarily. He hasn't seemed to be playing as well as of since he's won the U.S. Open, but you never know. No one takes more notes than he does. He documents every shot at the range.
Yeah.
The dude is on a whole other level when it comes to the game. So, I mean, you can't rule him out of it. You know what I mean? Like, that's not it's interesting. Yeah. I just think he's too short for it. But then again, he's such a good ball striker that he could get it done. But he has been doing speed
Speed
training.
training. Gotta have speed training.
Yeah, I do speed
Yeah.
training. I do speed training still, so. Do you see the games when they were doing the launch monitor thing, how they were working on hitting specific trajectory windows and angles of descent in order
I
to
didn't
hit
see
certain
it, but
shots
I'm not
into the greens
surprised by
there?
it.
Can we talk how freaking amazing that is that they're going, okay, this is the 8-iron that I need to hit on this hole in order to get it to hold the green. I needed to fall at this extent. You know what I mean? It's just like you have to hit these specific numbers and RPMs in order to do that. And not only do that, but be able to have that swing going, okay, this is the 8-iron I was hitting on the range through this window.
Right.
But that is a
I mean,
whole other
that's
level of
Tiger-esque
golf.
right there. You know what I mean? Like hitting it in certain windows, slowing down things, minute amounts. And those guys are finally getting, like, he was just obviously ahead of his time. I mean, Rob's bringing up a good point. Like, Johnson was super strategic the year he won. That's what you have to be there. You don't win that tournament by mistake. You have a plan, and then you execute that plan, which is why guys like Zach Johnson win that tournament. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's...
Well, that's how Patrick Reed won it. You saw how he got around that course. You've never seen that driver swing out of him his entire career. Then he's going around hitting this Arnold Palmer cutter
Right.
damn course the entire time, and he won it. You have to stick to the playbook at Augusta. You cannot freelance it. You can't freewheel it. There is a specific way to play that golf course. You have to play the course the way it is meant to be played, or you will not win. Plain and simple. It's just so it's also a matter of discipline. Are you able to be disciplined enough to hit every one of those shots and not? Yeah. Oh well, I can hit this certain shot here right now. Like, no, you don't. Statistical odds are against you. It's like when Tiger won, he hit that tee shot on the par 3 to the center of the green. That was experience. He knew that is not a pin you go after. You hit to the center of the green, you walk away from par, you go up to the par 5, you try to get your birdie there. You need to pick and choose your battles out there. You have to play the course the way that it was designed. And this is what makes Augusta so great. There's no other way around that course. There's one way to play that course, and if you do not play it that way, chances of you winning are next to none.
Another guy, I know we just keep bringing up more people. Will Zalatoris always shows up in majors. Shows up in every major.
His putter just horrifies me. And it's crazy. If you look at his putting stats, they're not bad. But if you see him over a 3-foot putt, I get the yips. Like my randomly kicks underneath the table.
Funny inside baseball thing about that. I was just with a guy who knows Will really well and plays with him on off weeks, and he said that he's never seen somebody who can roll a ball end over end more consistently than Will Zalatoris. And he said the reason that, they make a big deal about his jitteriness, he said that it's overblown. The only time he gets like that is when he's got to give a putt extra, oomph. If it's uphill or greens are running slow, that's when you see that from him. So he's like, it probably won't be a huge deal at Augusta because the greens run so fast. But he said, and that's why his putting stats are so good. This is all coming from an inside source who will not be named. But, he just said that he's never seen a guy roll a ball end over end as purely and as consistently as Will Zalatoris.
I get that, but like I said, the stats, I don't argue with the stats, but it just...
But he shows up every Masters, or every major. He shows up, and he competes. I mean,
you're absolutely... But he's also still, he's just back to full swing on his on everything. He seems to be back to normal, but he's made some swing adjustments to protect his back a little bit as well. So I think there's still going to be some growing pains with him. I don't see him in it. I think he might contend. I think we won't see results from Zalatoris till the end of the year. That's my. I think it's going to take him time. I would love for Corey Connors to win, but him going back-to-back weeks winning, I don't see it happening. Just because he did win, but he doesn't strike me as the player to go back-to-back weeks. But I love Corey Connors. I just want to point out, every tournament that I put money on him on last year, he never won. But every time I don't put money on him, he wins. So there's that. So
what do you think about Max Homa?
On that dude. I think he's coming in under the radar. I know he's a top 5 golfer, and I absolutely love him, and I think he has everything that it takes, absolutely. I don't know why I'm not really sold on him yet. I love him. I think I need to see him show up in majors. I think seeing him compete in majors, I'll be like, okay, yeah, he's the real deal. He's won a lot of great tournaments and great fields. I'm not denying any of that. I just haven't seen it in a major yet, or consistently in majors yet. So, but then again, he's kind of a new golfer now. So historically, I am correct, but going forward, he's has a lot more confidence and a lot more game than he had before. So he very well could be. Going around with JT, him and JT and Rory and Tiger were playing together. I don't see Tom Kim necessarily putting up the greatest performance either, but I think it's because first time Augusta. It's very rare that you see someone show up for the first. It's not that he doesn't have the game. I think it's just going to take him a couple of years to get to know the course. He's going to have to make.
Do you think it's a similar thing with Homa as it is with a Xander Schauffele or a Cantlay?
Oh no, because I think Xander has a legitimate shot. Xander has competed in a lot of majors, and actually he's due. I think he'll put a dime of a Canadian brother. I'm not going to, so he'll probably play really well then. Xander, I think Xander's coming in under the radar. I think he could do it if he gets the putter to cooperate. His putting is his downfall, and it always has been. Cantlay, going through equipment changes, so we haven't really seen the Cantlay. I think Xander and Patrick and Zalatoris, we'll see more out of them in the majors going forward. Not quite right now. I like them better in a PGA Championship or an Open format
Okay.
than anything else. As of now, I just don't think they have. This goes for Cantlay and for Zalatoris. I think Xander will compete in every major this year. He typically does. He shows up, and I would love to see him win. Team Callaway all day, baby. Let's. I want to see that happen. But like right now, if you're voting on a manufacturer to win or betting on a manufacturer to win, Callaway's coming a little weak here. But last week they did have Rose Zhang winning the women's Augusta, which is awesome. And then I think her last name was Bay. She got her first one in the LPGA Tour with the Paradigm in her bag as well too. So who shows up for the major?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a little bit
Scotty
different.
Scotty and Rory repping the stealth.
Yeah, and there's a very good chance we're going to see them duel it out.
Me too. I mean, that would make
Which
it
I would
fun.
love
I
to
think
see
that's
that.
the thing is that's all we want out of the Masters is like that drama or that storyline. Like I don't want. I remember as a kid or like as a late even like a late teenager being so disappointed when like a no name won a major. So like when like when Michael Campbell beat Tiger or some of those other like was it Ben Crane or somebody. It was just like you're just like I don't want those guys to win. I know that sounds horrible and it's life changing for them, and I get it now as an adult, but it's still just like I don't want to see those guys, win against the best in the world. I want the best in the world to go against each other. I don't want to see some, like no name, guy win it. I mean, it's a little different at Augusta, but still, I just don't. I want to see Scotty and Rory and John and Colin and those dudes like battle it out down the stretch. I don't want to see like this sounds bad. I don't want to see like Mito Pereira in the last group on Sunday. Like it just doesn't interest me.
No, I totally yeah, but it's also like this is the thing about the PGA Tour that I've always loved. So Live is really ruffled some feathers on is the idea that with the PGA Tour there's no manufactured drama where Live is like creating drama to have it. Or with the PGA you kind of have these natural rivalries and everything like that, and that's more or less what I'm interested in is the organic rivalries with Rory, Tiger, Phil, Scotty, Roger Jr. Oh, a rookie that could stand out this week, like rookie to Augusta or just rookie in
Yeah, I
general.
mean, I think Tom Kim has a possibility just because of how electric he can be. I don't know. I kind of tend to agree with you. I don't know if he will, but I think if there's a rookie who could stand out, it could be Tom. He's just an incredible ball striker who hits the ball straight or like hits it where he wants to hit it. So
I think Cam Young could actually put up a hell of a performance.
do we still call him
the
a rookie? Is
so
he still a rookie?
high. He was rookie.
I think
was he rookie of the year last year?
He almost won the Open Championship.
Did he? Did he play at Augusta
I don't
last
know the
year?
answer to that.
I
mean, he's enough of a rookie that you could consider him a standout this weekend for sure. Did Ricky Fowler get in? He didn't get in, did he? No, I didn't think so. Poor guy.
No, about it. I'm still pissed about it. 2023. What do you need to know about first-time players? Here we go.
I would be curious to see for the people watching, what do you guys think while PJR is looking that up? I would love to get the audience's take on this too. What do you guys think about the older players coming back to play in the Masters, taking those slots from like a Ricky Fowler, like a Sandy Lyle or who's the other guy that's gonna play the older guy? Man, I'm losing my train of thought here. Doesn't matter. But, there's some of those older guys who clearly are not going to, they're going to go out there and shoot 80, 85 maybe. So they're not contenders. It's just ceremonious and something they've earned. They've won, so they've earned it. And I get that for sure. I'm just more curious on the discussion than I am anything else. Of like, that's taking spots away from guys who may have a legitimate chance, or at least a better chance than somebody like that.
I think they should widen the field. Okay, let's look at rookies here real quick. Names that we know. We got Adrian Moronk in there. Ryan Fox is his first time there, age 36. Wow. Sahith, this is his first year there. We have Svensson, his first year there. Taylor Moore, his first. Kitayama, his first year there. Tom Kim, it's his first year there. Pereira, first. Ben Carr. Oh gosh, out of all of those names, it's either Kitayama or Tom Kim.
I think it's Sahith Theegala, honestly.
Even Sahith. The par 3 jinx is over. Oh, somebody choking on that.
It's like Tom Hoge winning the par 3 is the jinx over. Like, can they win the tournament now? The par 3 jinx. Like, if you win the par 3 contest, you're not going to win the tournament.
Hoge, dude has been on fire. I don't think he'll get the job done, but if there's anybody that's been primed up and going into Augusta that hasn't won, that is also winning the par 3 contest, I think he's probably the best odds historically, probably so far.
Know. He's one of those unsexy picks to me. Like, I don't know if I want Tom Hoge coming up 18 as, like, a 2-shot lead coming up 18, and you're just like, yeah, Tom Hoge won, cool. Like, good for him.
Buddy.
Well, I mean, it would be life-changing for him, and I don't have anything against the guy, personally. I don't think that's that compelling of a storyline for anybody but him and his family. Like, I don't know if anybody really wants that. If you ask them, like, what's your ideal scenario for the Masters? Nobody outside of him and his family are being like, I really want to see Tom Hoge battle it out.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. But yeah, so I think it's between Sahith, Kitayama, and Tom Kim. I'm going to say Tom Kim has the advantage because he was doing practice rounds with JT and Tiger. That right there gives you an edge. You're going to have more information than everybody else, and I think at Augusta that is crucial. That's just my take on that. But Sahith he's awesome. Kitayama's been playing well too. But I think Tom Kim has the edge. If you had to, root for one of them.
Sahith or Tom. I don't think Kitayama is going to drive the ball accurately enough to be a factor. To be honest, I think he's just. I don't know. We'll see. That's just purely based on my own.
I think Kim can handle the pressure
just
better.
Just based on how he handled himself at the President's Cup. Yeah, Brian.
Deuces, homie.
Yeah, so I don't know. It'll be. I mean, it's gonna be fascinating. I cannot wait. Like giddy. I'm not gonna get any sleep because I'm like, let's get up and watch.
Yeah, I have to sling sushi the first part of the day tomorrow, but I have 2 TV screens. I have a monitor showing up tonight too, so I'm gonna have like 3 to 4 different screens working on the Masters while slinging golf and. Espresso martini.
So I will not have that. I will have sparkling water like I promised, my new favorite. I am not sponsored by Liquid Death. I just like to drink
it. I'm not sponsored by espresso martinis, but I would be more than happy to do so. That'd be great. That'd be great to be the espresso martini guy. So that sounds like a great life.
The espresso martini guy. What if our podcast was just brought to you by Espresso Martinis? Not like a brand, just the actual drink. Somehow the drink sponsors our podcast.
You can make it over.
We'll have to swirl one every episode.
I'm going to get a real martini glass. I have a little cooler of ice over here and a shaker so I can just make them fresh all day.
Did we miss anything? What have we not covered?
Sunday
by into the hour.
We're getting to the hour. We're talking about our picks.
Does anybody have any questions? I know we don't have a ton of people left on here, but if there's any questions, we'll take them.
I'm still stressed out about crocodiles.
Not going to have it in Augusta, I don't think, but yeah.
No, it's nightmare fuel, man. They can get up to 6 feet in a tree. Could you imagine walking
I
by a
cannot.
tree and seeing a crocodile perched up? It's game over.
I don't spend a ton of time worrying about it,
There's
but
I'm
you live in St.
legitimately
Louis, so
concerned
you're
about
pretty
it for some
safe.
reason.
Well,
I
yeah, that's true.
travel a
I
lot,
guess.
though.
You should just stop traveling. Just stay home. Lock yourself in your
God, no.
house and
God,
go
no.
to the world.
I'm either down by you or to Portugal.
We don't
It
really
depends.
have a ton of alligator problems where I am at, but yeah, I mean, they're around for sure. They're around.
Somewhere.
Yeah, fine.
In somewhere. Like,
All right. Episode
Awesome.
9, Masters preview.
come on, guys.
Thank you guys so much for you. Oh, wait. Pink lemonade vodka was a thing before Pink Whitney. You just have to do the same for espresso martinis. That is a bunch of things I don't understand. So, yeah. That message is for you, not me.
Well, I am.
Would love to be in the
The
pod
drinker,
sometime. Yes,
so-
Trent, we'll have absolutely. You need to be on the pod sometime.
DF the Parnon Pod. That's
Yeah.
where we keep all this
Trent's a good
information.
dude, so we'll definitely
I'm-
work to get you on the pod. Absolutely.
Ryan's the responsible one. I'm the loud one.
Can't deny that. All right, everybody.
We're going to repost this
Yes.
episode onto YouTube and platforms. They will be available to watch or rewatch or listen to. Again,
Pebble.
God, Pinehurst or Pebble?
The ocean, baby.
Pebble.
Yeah.
I think Pebble. Yeah. I'd take Bethpage over both of them, though. I want to get my clock cleaned there, man. Bethpage Black from the tips. I want
Sounds
it.
like a prison sentence. but-
Yeah. Maybe if I ever get sent to prison, like, all right, this is the deal. I don't want to serve my time, but I'll
With
play
old
Bethpage
hickories.
from the tips into the wind.
You just have to
With
do it
old hickory.
over and over and over again. You can't stop.
It's fine. It's like keep supplying golf balls. I don't care. But make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, family,
We'll be back next
all
week.
that fun stuff.
Obviously, can't wait to see who wins. We'll be talking about it. We'll be up on social media all weekend. I'm sure. Posting, reposting,
Oh,
commenting.
yeah, phone will be.
All that stuff. You guys.
All right, guys. Thank you for the questions and getting involved.
There you
Sending my
go.
love. Peace.